what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies podcast, sponsored by Fightback CBD. Get 15% off your CBD order at fightbackcbd.com with code JJD. All right, I'm Milton Campus, Purple Belt, Fight Sports Coral Springs.
Welcome back, Milton.
Welcome back, everybody.
It's good to see you, man.
How we doing?
Awesome.
Good.
Hello, Jessica.
Thank you for having me.
Episode 15.
This is cool.
Today's guest, Jessica Aguilar, professional MMA fighter, Jiu-Jitsu black belt,
Run on that bio.
fighting out of...
I just I left ATT. I was there for 13 years, and
Oh, wow.
I'm fighting out of Barwis.
Okay.
It's Barwis Methods. So I've been at Barwis for about over 2 years.
Where is that?
It's on Hillsborough, just east of
Okay.
95.
All right.
Yeah. So they're just now also. They built the MMA side, which is Stanford MMA.
Okay.
So you have a lot of the Henry Hoofs is transferring to.
Okay.
So that's going to be the MMA side.
All right. Very, very cool. Well, glad to have you with us.
Yeah, thank you. But I've been actually training at a few different spots.
Okay.
Jiu-Jitsu at Fight Sports Coral Springs.
Yes.
At Aviv. So I've been, these girls have been helping me out a lot, and so I kind of, it's a kind of like, I don't just represent one.
It's funny because we have a question that I already know we have a question later about going from gym to gym,
Yeah,
does is it helpful for doing tournaments and your overall training?
Okay,
So
cool.
we're glad to have you with us. Let's
Thank you.
introduce these two.
Janet.
Damn it,
These two whatevers.
They don't know about Janet yet.
Well, now they do.
Janet, purple belt, fighting out of Fight Sports Coral Springs.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Junior, fighting out of Fight Sports Coral Springs, black belt.
Woohoo! Welcome back, everybody. Episode 15. I was just talking to Bo before we got started, and I mentioned it to you. We're hitting like our highest numbers ever. Our downloads for just like the last 30 days. Like, it's not just about the ones that we're putting out, but what with the downloads that we get on the older stuff, it's kind of crazy to see. The more we have out, like everybody's going back and watching the older stuff. So it's
Trying to
really
figure
cool.
us
Very
out.
cool.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
yeah.
guys.
Thank you. So before we dive in, I'm just going to run through real quick. I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible. We kind of get more and more.
What do we talk about first?
Giveaways. Let's just talk about the
Perfect.
giveaways. So let's just give you the rundown, right? So on YouTube, we always do the like, comment, subscribe, and you are entered to win a $50 gift card from the jiu-jitsu-dummies.shop. We've got 2 bottles of CBD from Fightback CBD that'll go out to 2 of the listeners whose questions we used today. They'll also get a $35 gift card for the jiu-jitsu-dummies.shop.
Thank you, Justin.
We've got backpacks, mugs, the foundation mugs that you see on the table,
Those
all
are nice.
going out for the podcast patrons. We should note our painting is gone.
Oh, you
The
gave that
painting
away.
from
Sent it off.
Yeah,
I
from
didn't get to
Diane
see it.
Portwood.
What was it?
Really?
We had a
It was
really cool
nice.
painting from Diane Portwood, who is a purple belt fighting out of GFT in Fort Lauderdale, with Drew Phoenix, who was one of our guests, and he introduced us
And she
to
actually
us.
competed at the last Jits King.
Yeah, she was on that same card. Yeah.
She competed in gi.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
I met her.
She's an art.
Cool.
She's an amazing artist.
Really?
And she donated a print of one of her originals, and it was hanging here for a while. And we sent it to. We
got
have
that?
that was James Fisher. Who actually let us keep it around. So we gave it away like before the holidays.
Okay.
But I wanted it to hang on a few of the podcasts. I wanted it to be here.
cool.
So it was here, and it was really cool. She's amazing. You got to check her out. She's an amazing artist, and it was very nice. She donated that to us for us to give away on our Patreon page to our
very cool.
podcast patrons, who are guys or guys and gals that give us or donate money, pledge money every month, and they get entered to win up to $100 of jiu-jitsu swag every month. So we won these gis at Jits Kings.
Oh, cool.
We-
Jits Kings also gives out. Yeah?
Yeah,
had a
so
raffle
they gave
for
out 5 flow kimonos. They raffled 5 at the event that you were at. And me and one of my teammates, we both bought $20 worth of raffle tickets, and we won all 5 of them.
Oh, wow.
I won 3. I got sick of going
Talk
up. I
about
was
luck.
giving the.
But the problem was there was a total of what, 10 tickets in the thing. You guys bought all the tickets I won.
So we're giving them. I put the patches on all the ones that we have, and I'm giving them away to the podcast patrons as part of the monthly giveaway. So we just really give away a lot of stuff, and it pays to be a patron. So
Pays to be a patron.
They'll
Thank you, guys.
win stuff. They'll get coupon codes just for being there. They don't always have to win something. So let's go into anyone out there that would like to work with us, sponsor the show, donate product. You can reach out to us on all of our social media at Jiu-Jitsu Dummies. You can go to the website, jiu-jitsu-dummies.com, or send us an email at info@jiu-jitsu-dummies.com as well. Again, we just mentioned the gis, so thank you to Flow Kimonos and Jits Kings, which I'm representing today with my shirt. And that's it. Okay, so
Hey, those are a cool bunch of guys from
Well, I
Jets
had a
Kings, man.
question. I
Yeah,
wanted to know
shoot.
more about the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies Foundation. What's
So yes, so we everyone that's
Junior?
involved with the show
Okay.
is either a Marine or sleeps with a Marine. So,
wow, Chapman.
Hey, but true.
but true, kind of. Right? I mean, it's true.
Wow.
So
Not get personal here.
except for Mauricio, who's from Brazil, former Marine, right there.
Thank you.
You know
for your
Brian.
service.
You've met Brian, I'm sure.
Brian.
Jason.
That
Why am
other
I saying
fella.
Brian? Oh, the
From the
other Marine.
Yeah, but Brian.
I knew I had her. I'm like, why am I saying Brian?
Jason.
Raul
Retired.
is another
Official?
retired Marine. Yeah, right. I saw his. He posted his paperwork. Yeah,
Good for him.
Congratulations,
Congrats, brother.
Thanks.
Just all secret squirrel stuff now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So everybody involved with the show was either had some type of connection to the military. My dad was in the Navy. I did not serve, but excuse me. But we decided to do. We wanted to pay. Kind of put the word out there and pay for a full year of jiu-jitsu for a first responder,
That's
a child
cool.
in need, or a
Veteran.
Okay. So we started the foundation. It is separate from the podcast, but we have a GoFundMe out there, so you can look in the description on the video or the podcast info. And we just started raising money. We haven't awarded the first one yet,
Okay.
but we're excited to do that. Junior is also an ambassador for We Defy. So
We
we
Defy.
have all of these. The We Defy Foundation.
So We Defy helps veterans,
Okay.
combat veterans that have come back, transition into the civilian
The
world
civilian.
with the use of jiu-jitsu. Yeah,
That's
which helps a
very
lot of us.
cool.
I think when you really think about what jiu-jitsu does for veterans, it's the same thing it does for us,
Camaraderie
right?
and that,
Exactly,
yeah.
right? At
The
least for
brotherhood,
that
the
hour and a
brotherhood
half.
that you kind
Right,
left
that you
behind.
lose, yeah.
Brotherhood,
Well,
sisterhood, right?
Right.
On the mat for an hour, hour and a half, sometimes two, BSing about whatever, every day if you want to.
Yeah.
Right, and it's there.
Yeah, that's true. Wow.
So-
That's- and the what foundation is that? Where's that?
That's the We Defy Foundation.
We Defy. Okay. Wow,
So
that's really
actually
cool.
gonna trying to maybe do something with them as well. Hopefully maybe get their logo up on the banner here. So that's
Cool.
hopefully
On the
coming
works.
soon.
Sweet. All right.
So let's talk about you.
All right.
Let's talk about
Let's
you.
talk-
Talking about us.
I mean,
I could talk about us all day.
yeah.
So,
Let's talk.
so give us a rundown. Let's start from the beginning. Let's. Is it okay maybe to just go? Let's start with the resume, and then we can go back to like
For
how you got
sure.
started. Did the Wikipedia thing.
It's all right. You
UFC,
can-
Bellator, World Series of Fighting, reigning strawweight champion when you left the organization. What else? Good. I mean, talk to us.
What else? Where did I start? We can go back to the the bulldog days, or what is it? Sure dog.
Sure dog.
Oh, sure
Bodog.
dog.
Bodog.
There's sure dog.
Sure dog
is like a
no,
informational.
Yeah, but Bodog
yeah.
days. That was like in
Okay.
2007.
Wow.
That was at that private event that you were invite only, and you would like they would take you to like exotic places.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, I started at AFC. It was actually number 15.
Really?
Absolute Fighting Championship here in Fort Lauderdale, which is owned by American Top Team.
Okay.
It was like one of the biggest MMA shows here in South Florida.
So let's
back
put
the
that
days.
in perspective. That was what year?
That was February of 2006.
2006.
Yeah. That
Okay.
was my first fight, my first
Okay.
professional fight. I was AFC 15.
What age were you?
I was 24.
Okay.
I was 24 years old, and I had 5 days to train for that fight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Short
I had
notice.
5 days. I had 5 days and 2 months of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I was fresh.
Really?
How
Nice.
exciting.
I was new.
So that was going to be my next question.
coming
Like,
off the boat.
what came first? So let's. How did you get started in martial arts? Period. MMA, jiu-jitsu. Let's go. Kind of go down
Man,
the list.
I fell into it. I
Yeah.
really did. I got lucky, and I found my passion. Not a lot of people, get to find that and get to do what they love to do. But anyway, so I moved to South Florida. I was doing some acting. I wanted to do
Really?
acting.
Okay.
And I've always been an athlete. Growing up, I played sports, and so I had to join a gym to stay fit.
What was your sport of choice?
And I played softball, all sports.
Okay.
I was at
Soccer,
I was at
softball,
soccer,
lacrosse.
yeah, well, never lacrosse.
Okay.
But, tennis. I was the person that they're in high school, and they were like, the coaches wanted me to stick to just one sport to get a scholarship, and I was
Yeah.
like, I need year round.
Basketball?
I like basketball too, yeah, for sure. And so, anyways, when I moved to South Florida, I joined a gym, and it was a boxing gym. It was fight Punch Fitness at the time. It was on right here in Deerfield, and Jap Judo was training out of there. There was some other professional fighters, and one day I got there late. I would do the aerobic classes, and I got there late. I was also working for a mortgage company at the time, part time, and I was doing the acting thing, trying to do the acting thing. Did a few extra things, and so anyways, I get there late, and I see this. There's another class, and it's like there's 2 girls, and then there's a lot of guys, and it looks like wrestling, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna try
that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it out. So I tried it out. It turned out to be Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay.
It was a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class. I picked up really quick. And
gi or no gi?
It was no gi.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a no gi. And I picked up really quick, and the instructor's like, hey, you should come to class. It's, you picked up really quick. And I was like, this is cool. Like, you're learning, different things. And I said, hey, maybe I could add this to my resume. For skills when you're an actor and actress.
Okay.
You write it to,
do your own stunts.
To your, yeah.
Because
that's
you
what I
weren't
want to do
thinking,
now. Yeah.
you weren't thinking about fighting at that time. Not yet.
Never.
Okay.
I never.
You didn't want to get punched in the face repeatedly and have blood drip down your...
growing up, you're watching the what is it, Jean-Claude Van Damme with your brothers, and you're like, or Rocky back in the day, and you're like, oh, but I never thought, oh, I want to be a fighter. I feel like I've always been a fighter.
Okay.
Anyways, so I kept training, and then the instructor's like, hey, there's a Naga coming. I'm like, what's Naga? What's Naga? And I liked it also because I was making new friends here in South Florida, kind of getting to know. And it, we would all, like you said, it was like a brother, sister.
It sucks you in.
Yeah, it's exactly. It sucks you in. So he's like, there's a Naga coming up. I think you should compete. We all go as a team. He explained it to me, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right. So I went as a team. We competed, and I won no gi and gi. He says, oh, just listen to me. And it was just points. Just stay on top, go knee on belly, mount, side control. And back then you would get 2 points, 4 points, knee on belly, go back to side control, knee on belly, and you would keep getting points like that.
They changed that.
Yeah, exactly.
They got hip to that.
So I was just winning. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm winning. So it was pretty cool. I kept doing it. My second month, I went to another tournament, which was a tournament that American Top Team had put together. It was the ADCC, and the matchmaker for AFC 15 was also running the tournament. So when I went to sign up, he said, there's no girls for you to compete against. There was no girls in my weight class. I said, okay, I'll compete against the guys at my weight class. And he looked at me. He's like, no, you can't do that. And I'm like, okay. So he probably thought I was crazy, which I didn't even ask questions. So I'm like, okay. So I stayed at the spectator. Later on, he called me on the speaker. He said, Jessica Aguilar to podium. So I went, and he says, how much MMA experience do you have? And I was like, I don't have any MMA experience. I was studying biology. And so I was looking for an abbreviation. What is MMA? Hey, I was just learning this jiu-jitsu thing. I didn't even know. So I was like, what? And he kind of saw, I didn't know, he kind of figured, I didn't know what he was talking about. He says, mixed martial arts. I said, I have none. I just started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu 2 months ago. I grew up with brothers. That makes if I get credit for
enough
that.
Experience there.
Yeah.
Right?
And he says, so do you want to fight? I said, yeah, I want to fight. He says, okay, well, I have a fight coming up Saturday. It's against a 115-pound girl. And I was like, yeah. I said, when do I have to pay you? Because I was used to
registration.
I was used to registering for
No.
And he looked at me, he laughed at me, and he's like, no, I pay you. I'm like, wait a minute. All right.
Change the story.
Stop. I mean, I had gotten warned by a few people. You're in South Florida. You're young. You got to be careful.
Shallow
That's a
wrestling,
Ponzi scheme.
or what is this?
You got to be careful.
You were doing mortgages too, you said, right? Right? You were doing some mortgages?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Ponzi
my
scheme,
God.
you're like,
Let's
oh,
not even go that one. But so I said, he said, I said, what am I going to do? I didn't know what to ask. I'm like, okay, I'm fighting another girl at 115 pounds. Back in the day, it was 2 rounds of 3 minutes. And I'm like, 115 pounds, what is she going to do? I'm like, okay. And he says, you're going to wear 4-ounce gloves, It's in the ring. It was in the ring. No,
first fight, so no shin guards?
professional.
Okay.
It was yeah.
Oh, okay.
So-
you went pro right out the gate.
Yeah, back in the day.
No amateur fights. Now it's amateur.
Back in the day, there was none of that,
Wow.
amateur setting, nah. And so I said, yeah. He said, if you want to make more money, you sell tickets. I sold the whole office. All the mortgage office was there.
That's
and
awesome.
I went in the next day. They were like, "Hey, I'm gonna fight." Like, you're fucking crazy. What do you mean? But the whole entire office was there. It was the fight of the night.
But did they
I lost
expect
the
it from
fight.
you? When you told them that, they're like, "Yeah, we believe her."
Well, I mean, I was acting, and then I got into the gym. So I was like, and then I was doing jiu-jitsu now. They were like, "What?" So when I was fighting, they were like, "All right, we're gonna be there supporting
Crazy
you."
that he would ask you for a fight like that when you don't even really know what it was.
And who I was fighting was Lisa Ward. At the time when I was fighting her, she had like wrestling, high school wrestler, college wrestler in Oregon, from Oregon.
It's nuts.
But I didn't know anything. So it was like the fight of the night. And then there was other promoters there that saw me and they called me to their show. And that's how I got started. But
So you literally went in with zero fighting experience.
For 1 week, from Saturday to Saturday, after work, I would go in. I would go in and run on the treadmill. Probably got one workout with mitts, but I didn't.
Oh my god,
That's crazy.
that is
Yeah.
nuts.
And even though you lost, how did you do?
I mean, it was.
You held your own?
Oh yeah, I held my own. I was actually
Fight of the night?
It was like fight of the night. It was a fight of the night. I was getting rear naked choke for like maybe it was almost 3 minutes, but I didn't know how to defend, and I was looking towards my corner. He's like, "Go!" And I was like, in my head, I was like, "Go where?" But I kept punching, so I was punching backwards, but I was getting choked out. And the bell rang, and
You're fucking awesome.
yeah.
Wow.
Sorry to
That's a
show.
great story.
I was in training. This was at Punch Fitness, and a few months later, I walked into American Top Team. A friend of mine said, "If you're really going to do this,
Serious about this.
if you're really serious about this," because there was other promotions calling the gym where I was at offering me fights, and I was like, "Yo, I don't. This is not
So this is a time where there aren't that many
females."
women fighting.
Yep.
And then there's probably not too many 115
right?
pounders on top of that.
And
at that age,
we were fighting at all different weight classes. I fought at 115, 118, 125, 120.
Wow.
You had to fight wherever the weight class.
So then from there, fight of the night.
Yep.
Then what happens? You start taking this seriously?
So I said, if I'm going to do this, I need the proper training. There was just like a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class, and there was no structure. I was like, I need to learn how to kick. I need to learn how to defend. I need to learn everything. So one of my friends that worked out at Punch Fitness, she's like, "Dude, I have my trainer who I train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with. He's from American Top Team. It's like right down the street." And I'm like, "Where's American Top Team?" We went in. I got introduced. I signed up.
That was their old location? Their old location?
Yeah, their old location. Signed up, and I started. I was their first female MMA fighter, so I started the team. And then I met my coach, Ricardo Liborio. Then I was under Pompina D'Amata too, and I started learning. And I said, they were like, "What do you want to do?" "I want to be a champion. I want to be the best in the world." They were like. But then they realized when I walked into ATT, they already knew me. They were like, "Oh, that's that crazy
that
girl."
mortgage broker.
Well, how many fights?
They didn't even know a mortgage
How many
broker.
fights did you have at that time? Just that one?
Yeah, but
Really?
that was their show, so
Oh,
they were
that's
all
right.
there.
Oh, wow.
So they were like, "Dude, that's that girl that was like getting choked out," and But I didn't know who anyone was. Like
Yeah.
I was just like, I got recommended to the gym, and I want to be a champion. And they were like, "Okay." I mean, nobody really believed me at the time, and so I said, me and my coach, we made a plan. I said, "This is what I want to do," and he's like, "It's going to take a lot." So I gave myself 5 years, and I said, if in 5 years I don't become the best, then I got to move on. A little over 5 years, I became the best in the world.
Awesome.
That is.
That was in 2009 or 10.
And
like
which organization?
That was Bellator.
Bellator.
I won against Megumi Fuji, who was
Okay.
back then. It was like you beat the best, and it's
the
like
best. You become the
yeah.
best.
So
Was there a title? Did you hold a title in Bellator?
No, I didn't hold the title. We did a first strawweight. We were part of a tournament. It was a first strawweight tournament.
Okay.
But I lost in the semifinals against Zoila Frosto, and Zoila Frosto went on to beat Megumi for that.
Okay.
And
So
then
was
I fought. it was
Bellator
a
before
different-
World Series of Fighting?
Yeah,
That was before.
Yeah. That was way before.
What happens at Bellator? Did they get rid of all of the women?
It was AFC, and then I went to some other. There's some other events in Orlando, CFC, and then I got invited to Bodog, which like Mike Brown, Yves Edwards, all these UFC, all these
big names
guys,
came out of
big names,
had done
and
that.
we were all like just having fun, making money. We were carrying bags, like they would pay us in cash
Really?
bags.
Wow.
And when we would travel like Russia and Costa Rica, they were like coming back with like we had to put stacks of cash. Yeah.
Oh man.
It was
You
like
don't wanna
that.
get,
It was pretty.
You don't want to get taken out of line with money taped to your
Yeah,
legs.
it was crazy.
They have shows about that stuff.
Yes, they
Yeah,
do.
exactly. But Bellator. Then I went to Bellator, and I was there. And then after Bellator, oh man, it's been I don't even know. We got to pull this
Gee,
up.
are you looking at my? You want to see my notes?
I'm like, I don't even know. We got to pull this
I
up.
can show you my notes.
But-
I saw Bellator, and then World Series of Fighting comes after that. After Bellator, did you leave
There
Bellator?
was actually there was another. I did a few fights in Japan,
Okay.
and then it was World Series of Fighting.
Okay.
Where all have you traveled to?
Man, damn it.
She is calling her Jamit, by the way. We'll get some background on that in a minute.
We'll get Russia, Japan.
Jamit is turning red if you didn't notice.
Don't take the attention away from me.
Yeah, no, I keep it on you. I've traveled a lot of places.
What was your favorite?
Canada. Russia has to be one of my favorites. Russia and Spain. Yeah. But
Do you get the chance to go sightsee?
I do.
That's
Sometimes, Vancouver was awesome. Also, I try to take some free time to, go sightseeing when I travel.
Enjoy.
Does free
Yeah.
time mean bring a gi and train as well?
Sometimes. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
All the time. Yeah, that's gonna.
I think it doesn't hurt just to.
Oh no! What do you mean, fight week?
Okay, no. Well,
Or just-
afterwards or before.
Yeah, never. Yeah, I always liked to. People just my coaches. They have to like control me and say like, "This is it."
Juniors are like our in-house ambassador here. It's like I don't hear from him for a couple of days, and then I see him like in Virginia at some school.
Yeah, I travel with
And,
my gi.
yeah.
I travel a little bit and I try to make it.
That's a beautiful thing about jiu-jitsu that you can anywhere around the world where you go. If you're traveling for work or you're traveling for, you could just go into
Walk
a gym,
in,
walk
yep.
into a gym, and put on a gi, and everybody's just take your belt. You don't even need a gi. Just
That's true.
You were just up in Virginia?
Yeah,
Is it
Virginia.
High Road BJJ?
High Road.
Shout out to High Road.
Yeah, Dave's awesome. They have an awesome
You've
gym
been up there twice now.
Twice,
You
yeah.
did a little teaching up there?
Yeah.
I know
Great
that
time.
they were I saw the post and I'm maybe reading between the lines and they were thanking you for the neon neck that you taught the students.
Oh, that's a cyborg. That's a cyborg move.
Yeah.
I give him full credit with that. But
I'm looking at the post and I'm like, High Road. I know there's more to the name, right? The High Road right there.
Yeah.
They're like kind of preaching,
do the right thing.
yeah, do the right thing,
Yeah. Do something
be
good.
nice.
Yeah.
And here comes Junior with the neon neck to all these white belts. So
Hey, we were doing the Elm Valley series, so I'm like, let me show you something real
That's
quick.
cool. Yeah,
it's
you're
a
sharing.
good transition.
Yeah.
They
That's
might
cool.
never see that again.
Yeah.
At least they know. What
So
to expect.
he's always traveling. So and look, I'm going to jump forward to a question that we have because, and I did mention it to you. We got an email from a listener. His name is Nick K. He says, "What are the pros and cons of training in one school versus training in different schools or jumping to different schools? Should gym hopping? Should you be gym hopping in order to be better at a competition level?"
Well, I'll answer the first question. Being inside one, training in one gym. I mean, I was at American Top Team. I would say I started at American Top Team because Punch Fitness was just like I was there for a couple months and I didn't really learn anything from there.
Okay.
I, met great people and
It was an
good
introduction,
friends.
but you needed more
right,
than that.
but I needed more. And where I really started learning and developing everything that that took me to where I went in my career was training at American Top Team.
Okay.
And the beauty about that is now that you could see more gyms having the same thing. Before, American Top Team was like one of the few that had everything inside the gym. It had jiu-jitsu, it had the cage, it had, the conditioning.
Because they had that location that they had on, what was that, Johnson?
It was Johnson,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, on Johnson.
Coconut Creek.
Yeah, in that industrial
was
space.
20,000 yeah, it was
it was still
20,000
big.
square
It was
feet.
a big gym. There was
Yeah.
nothing like
And
that.
exactly. There was
Yeah.
so that was like freaking Disney World for
Yeah.
MMA, you know.
Have
and
you traveled?
even
Have you trained in the new facility? Were you?
Yeah,
you were there till
I had
the
my
new
business
facility?
there. Yeah, I had a juice bar there.
Okay.
But
Oh, did you? Okay.
so I mean, it was it was great to have everything there. And I did travel to my other coaches. He had it. Well, he still has his gym in West Palm Beach, another ATT there, and I would travel to get some more jiu-jitsu time in the evenings, and I would have to travel to Miami to get some strength and conditioning work. But it's valuable just to have. I mean, and then they had all the coaches, the staff that was there, like high level.
I mean,
they were bringing people in from Brazil and all around the world, striking from Holland, or so it was a good time, and I developed a lot, and that's where I learned everything. Like most of my base there, my foundation was I was made an American top team.
Now, do they ever give you? And I know for like somebody, I'm a purple belt, and I don't know that Nick told us what belt he was, but I tend to find that if you are lower than maybe, let's say, a brown belt, not always well received to just start traveling to gyms by the coach at your gym.
Right.
It's not, I mean, it's a respect thing. You should ask permission. We've talked about this before on the show. You should ask permission. You should also ask the gym that you might be going to, hey, I'd like to stop in. Is there a mat fee? I spoke to my coach. But, in that world, is it okay to go to another gym, or is it kind of like in the professional world, it would kind of be like, where are you going? Where are you gonna?
Yeah, now I think things are changing a bit. There's more fighters and jiu-jitsu practitioners going out and venturing in other gyms. But back then it was like, no, you can't do that.
Your team is your team.
Your team is.
But you could go to like another ATT location
for sure.
And that
Yeah,
would be okay.
you would go, and still it was like you have to tell the trainer and the instructor, and he didn't like it very well.
Yeah.
He was like, why don't you come to mine? I'll set up the training for you, or I'll invite people over. It wasn't like they didn't
love it.
Yeah, they didn't love it.
Yeah. Okay.
But nowadays, I feel like I still feel like there should be a structure, one gym that you train at, and then if you want to, train for competition, like you were saying, going to different gyms, I think it's super valuable because you're getting a different feel and a different look from other. For example, for me, when I've been going to Coral Springs, Fight Sports Coral Springs, and then I go to Aviv, and then I drill with Bruna, or there's just. The games are different, so it helps me develop all these
more exposure for your game.
Let's give Aviv a shout out. I don't know them personally. I know that you guys do. They just opened a gym in
Lantana.
And who are the coaches?
It's Luana and Baby Anna.
First last name.
Anna,
So people that don't know.
Anna Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
And Luana, I can't pronounce her.
Look up a
Luana.
team.
Damn, I thought you were gonna help me out, man.
Instagram Aviv.
I thought you were gonna help me
Instagram
out.
at Aviv.
No, but
they're
they're like jiu-jitsu. If you know jiu-jitsu,
Was she at the last event?
Luana is like
Anna Carolina competed.
Yeah,
Luana was your coach?
Yeah, Luana was my coach at Jiu-Jitsu King. She was in my corner.
Who fought? But one of them also fought at Substars.
Yeah, Anna Carolina, Baby.
Baby just.
That's okay.
Yeah.
She
All right.
won by knee bar.
Yep.
Shout out to Aviv.
Yes.
Congratulations on your new gym.
Exactly.
I think I might have seen you in the gym, but I haven't met you.
Yeah,
but
well, you guys are
I wanted
welcome.
to shout
I
out.
told her that day. I'm like, hey, we're gonna come visit you.
For sure. You guys should come. Yeah,
Very
you
cool.
guys are
Nice
welcome. I
gym.
mean, it's
Yeah.
not my, but I'm walking. I
You know people.
I know they would
You got
welcome me.
connections.
So So yeah. So it's been a transition for me. When I left ATT, it was it was tough because I was leaving I was there for 13 years. It
Family.
was just time to move on, but I've been lucky to find other peers and
Other
shit,
homes.
yeah.
So
for sure.
I want to go back to this question. So again, we've answered this before. I like to get a kind of a guest perspective on it. Is for somebody that's just doing jiu-jitsu, I think I've kind of figured the backdoor method to go into another gym is go to seminars. Nobody's going to your coach is never going to get upset at you to go to a seminar that somebody's putting on. Cyborg had Renzo Gracie, Tom DeBlas, all those guys helping with the what was it? The Hurricane Maria relief.
Yeah.
That's an awesome opportunity.
That's true. Yeah.
That was a really big one, and there wasn't like an open mat where you could just like do free rolling. But that's a great way to do it. Like, Gordon Ryan and those guys, his team, they were at Goat Shed doing
Did a seminar.
A seminar right before. It was before.
Him and his girlfriend,
before
Goat
they
Shed, Goat Shed and
I don't know the last name. He was
they ended
him,
up doing
Ethan,
a
and
Henzo
Natalia.
Gracie one too in Fort
Yeah,
Lauderdale.
they did.
Yeah.
I heard that one was really.
that.
They were both really.
That is a great way to get a different look at jiu-jitsu.
I've been to Hensel Ray Gracie too. They welcomed me really cool.
Yeah.
So cool group down
Right,
there.
a good way. I mean, that's just one
You gotta
suggestion
pay
of
for it.
you might have to pay for it, but sometimes there's mat fees anyway when you go to a different gym. But and again, asking going to an open mat maybe versus going to like the Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes at another gym might be another way to do it. We welcome people in all the time.
But I think if you're
Yeah,
cross training
there's
as an athlete, right, it makes it easier, especially your coaches have connections. Hey, you want to go to do
for
conditioning?
sure.
Hey, go to this guy. He's really good.
I'm always
And I think
trying.
it
I want
happens
to
like
understand
that.
the politics of it. It's like I know that everybody doesn't love it. Is there a way to get your coach to be
other
okay with it?
other coaches are more flexible or more lenient with that, and then others are like, no, this is
Or
how
it's
we do it here.
It's
like,
more acceptable if you're traveling because you can't go to your home school.
Right.
Versus if you are here, why would you go somewhere else?
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that's true.
So for Nick, talk to your coach. See what he's gonna let you
for
do
sure.
and not have a problem with.
communication with your coaches.
So let's talk about a little bit about in a general sense, women in MMA, women in Jiu-Jitsu. So you get into MMA at a time where, like we said, there weren't probably a lot of women, definitely not in South Florida, in MMA. How have you seen that space grow?
Well, it's grown a lot. I mean, when I started, obviously started with jiu-jitsu. They put on my gi really quick, and that was my base.
Yeah.
Like learning the jiu-jitsu because I was under Pompina Damata and then Liborio and all of those guys. So it's all jiu-jitsu. That's what they that's what they knew. They had a mixed martial art like an MMA team, but that was jiu-jitsu was like number one. And when I started, I started training jiu-jitsu and competing a lot in jiu-jitsu, and there was girls, but there were not a lot.
And then you mentioned too, if there was a larger group of women, not necessarily in the same weight classes or even
You
the
had
same
to-
ages,
right.
So you're fighting way out of your weight
Absolutely.
class and age categories. Probably.
Back in the day, it was like Gina Carano, Cyborg, Misha Tate. There's some still fighting. Roxanne Modafferi, like old school.
I love watching her.
Yeah,
fight.
she's doing amazing.
She's got a black
too.
belt?
Yeah, exactly. She's doing amazing. But just to see the evolution, it's been amazing. Now you walk into gyms and there's a class for girls.
Yeah.
Back in the days, I was the only girl in the and on the mat.
There were more girls in our class the other night.
That's amazing
Tuesday?
to see. So
More girls
from
than
then
guys.
to
Guys,
now,
yeah.
I mean, it took a little time. Back in the days that even MMA, the competitions when I would compete like in Pan Ams or the Worlds or Nagas or where the Jiu-Jitsu, there was some girls, but not a lot. Not like you see today.
Yeah.
And then I was also the U.S. In the U.S. grappling team.
Okay.
And I won 3 gold medals for them. I forgot, but because it's been a lot. So grappling and jiu-jitsu prepared me for MMA.
Okay.
That competition, I would compete so much. I was competing a lot. And that, prepared me for my MMA fights. And in the MMA shows, there was only one female fight on the card, if there was any female fights on the card back in the days.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot. Like now, it's like girls are headlining the shows. We're like
The majority of times, like the female fighters put on a better show than the
That's
guys.
what-
In
you
some
know,
cases, it's like these
it's true.
fights are amazing.
And I mean, the technique before you've seen
Yeah.
it's changed a lot too. Like now they're legit. The technique that these girls know. I mean, and you're talking about we could even have Luana on here, Luana and Baby on the show. I mean, they're jiu-jitsu, goddesses.
Yeah.
Like, Luana's
Jam
yeah.
it. You gonna work on that for us?
Yeah, we can do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I just read Luana's picked up a fight, but I don't remember who.
Luana's she's like jiu-jitsu in the Jiu-Jitsu Hall of Fame for
Really?
So
Okay.
yeah, she's in the Hall of Fame for jiu-jitsu. And Anna, her brother, is fighting tonight.
Yes, Vieira.
Yeah,
on the UFC card tonight.
Rodolfo Vieira. Yeah.
Oh, that's him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're so they're both beasts, but,
Oh.
but in the jiu-jitsu world, they're
I saw him at the weigh-ins. He looks like a very scary dude.
So from then to now, it's grown so much. It's just I don't even like. It's grown so much.
Go ahead, Janet.
On your journey,
Yeah.
at what point did you meet Sophia? What belt were you? I'm just asking because I know
Sophia's our coach.
No, that's cool. That's
Just,
cool. No,
Sophia
it's good to know
Amanate.
because I forget. There's so much that you got to bring it. You got to.
Well, I hear you guys.
You got to
talk
dig. You
and
guys
your
have to
story.
ask me
Yeah,
questions.
let's go.
And you guys started roughly the
Oh
same
my God!
time?
Well, I started in 2006. I don't know, and I was competing a lot back in the day. And me and Sophia competed, I think, 2 or 3 times, and we competed at blue belt. We competed at purple belt. I think it was blue belt or purple belt. I think it was a blue belt. She beat me once, and I beat her once. But we met. That was 2008. I would say.
So blue belt.
Blue belt.
That's very
Yeah,
cool, though.
blue belt. Yeah, and her hooks, and she would say my pressure. But yeah, man, go back, way back. Yeah, no, Sophia, and she's always been awesome. Yeah, her and Felipe always have been super, super
So
nice.
you just got your black belts.
I just got
a
my
few months
black
ago?
belt. Yeah, in November.
From?
From Master Ricardo Liborio.
Okay.
I got my brown belt and my black belt from him.
Very
yes,
cool.
and
Okay.
he's one of the
Legend.
the legend. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a legend. But so yeah, it's been a cool ride.
And advice for an up and comer, male or female.
Find a good gym, good coaches, be a good person, train hard, don't expect things. Just follow, if you want to make it your career, put a schedule together, find a good gym, find your good coaches, trust them, and go to work. I mean, it's simple. There's nothing else.
Okay.
That's the formula right there.
That's it. That's there's no people are like, how did you do it? How did I do it? Like, you're crazy. How did I do it?
So first you get
walked
into
in.
become a mortgage broker.
No, you said
no.
you said one thing. You said one thing. I think that put it in perspective, right? Like, give yourself time, because overnight you're not going to become a champ.
You gave yourself
overnight.
a goal, I think,
You gave
which is-
yourself
Yeah,
5
for
years, is what
sure.
you said, right?
Yep.
So in those 5 years, start mapping out your plan.
5 years. I was 5 years. I had a full-time job. Nowadays, like, this is the thing that I see nowadays, that people want to be fighters or
Overnight
whatever.
success.
No, and they don't want to work. They want sponsorships and they want this, but they don't want to, no, you gotta work.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta just, make put your schedule together and figure it out. You can do it. Like, maybe it was easier back then because there wasn't that much competition as like there is right now. But I mean, fighters now don't want to work. All they just want to do is train, which is not real.
Wrong
It's
sport.
not reality.
Wrong sport.
But just it's easy. Just
Surprise
gotta
belt
work.
promotion.
I'm sorry.
Surprise belt promotion. Which one caught you by surprise?
I would say the brown belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say because I was a purple belt for maybe about 5 years. I thought I was gonna just
Stay at purple
stay
belt.
at purple. Yeah, that was man,
Where were you?
4 years in Coconut Creek.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in Johnson. Yeah, and Master Lee will just like after the class, he just pulled out the belt. He was like, "Okay, Jessica, come here." I'm like, "What?"
Nice.
Yeah, that was really cool. It was
That's
special.
awesome.
Yeah.
He was a head jiu-jitsu instructor there.
Yeah, he was one of the founders. He was one of the founders at American Top Team.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? So we saw you at Jits Kings.
Yep.
That was,
well, I'm a free agent right now,
Okay.
and I this is going to be, I think, I would say, depending on what comes up, what opportunity comes up, but this is going to be my retirement year of MMA.
Okay.
Is this
I
breaking
hate
news?
it. I
Is
don't
this
like
breaking
it.
news? Are you breaking
no,
news?
No, no,
Okay.
I put out. They've
Okay.
MMA Junkie reached out to me, and I was like, okay. I mean, I'm a free agent, and my management's still, looking and talking to a few people. I don't have an MMA fight right now and a promotion, so we're working on that. But competition, I was telling Jamit. He'll tell the story in a minute. That I was planning to go to the Pan Ams.
Okay.
And then I'm looking to fight. I mean, I haven't reached out to other grappling matches, but I'd like to get more active and doing that kind of stuff.
Okay.
To help the transition a little.
Okay.
Because there's a window, right?
For sure.
There's
absolutely.
a window when you can be effective as an
MMA fighter. Yeah. I mean, and I've had so many injuries and so many surgeries, and it's just, you feel it. Like, I mean, I know I still have it, but it's like my training's not consistent. There's just a lot of things that aren't aligned anymore, and I think it's,
List of surgeries.
List
of surgeries. You just said I had a bunch of surgeries.
Compound fracture, ACL, 2 labrums, nose.
All related to MMA? All related to training, or maybe something outside?
No, MMA.
All related.
MMA and training, yeah, all related, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's been, I don't know, maybe 12 surgeries.
Ouch.
So it's been. I love it. I mean, I love it.
I'm like, I bent my finger backwards. I'm like, oh, that's 3 weeks right there.
No, it's been a crazy ride. It's been an amazing ride. I'm so grateful for everything that this sport has brought me. This sport, MMA, saved my life because I didn't know, what I was. I wanted to. I knew I was different, and I wanted to my mom was always working and just working, and she just wanted to work in school. It's like for me. I like to work, and I'm not afraid of it, but I want to see the world. I want to travel. I want to do something that I'm passionate about. And I was fortunate enough to find Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, transition into MMA, that I became passionate about, and I just put everything in it. And
what do you think about this new world of like these Jiu-Jitsu tournaments now? I mean, now they're paying fighters. Now,
That's
amazing. Is that a world that you think that you fit into at this point in your career?
For sure. I mean, I feel like I have a lot to give, a lot to share.
Okay.
Sometimes it's hard because it's transitioning, and it's like I'm not ready to transition, but it's there. But yeah, there's great opportunities for the fighters and for the upcoming athletes, and even for myself that's transitioning out of the sport just to stay active. Just like the military people, when they get out of the military and they go to.
Sure, you're effective for a certain amount of years, and then you have to know that you have to move on to something else different.
So,
but it won't take you away from jiu-jitsu. You can still compete into masters and master level.
For sure. Jiu-jitsu is always going to be in my life.
Sure.
Yeah, so I have...
But if you got a call for an MMA fight...
Come on.
From a premier organization, you jump all over it?
Yeah. I mean, because I'm, that's... I still have it in me. It's just... If it's the right, I mean, I have to be smart. If it's the right opportunity, I can't just
That'd be cool, because
they were offering the bare knuckle. I'm not down for that.
So now let's get to the good stuff. Give us the Jamit story.
The Jamit, no Jamit.
Let's get to the good stuff.
Yeah,
that's a Brazilian.
What is that?
Brazilian.
Go for it, Jamit.
It's not
That's a
even
Brazilian
that big of a
Janet.
deal, really. It was just few years ago in the after school program at work. One of the kids thought that was my name.
Jamit?
Jamit. And for some reason, it stuck. And so now it's to the point that Sophia introduces me to people as Jamit. And,
look at that.
It
But
just
that's like your jiu-jitsu name.
So that's
why
what you
I
name. There goes
Jiu-Jitsu.
Jamit.
like
That's how
it.
you get names.
So I also have a Janik, a Janeth, Janice. Apparently my name is really hard to say for the little kids, but Jamit.
Janet?
I know.
Really?
Because I don't know. It's not a very common name.
Well, for us it is. Janet Jackson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
So
Miss Jamit, if you're nasty.
Oh, Jamit.
But now these kids don't know Janet Jackson. They have no idea who
You're
Janet.
When I say that, people are like,
Yeah.
you hear crickets. So yeah, whatever they call me is fine. But Jamit is the one that stuck.
And I remembered it too, so it was like Jamit.
Easy.
And what's crazy is that my phone autocorrects my name to Jamit. Now, if I try and type my name in, it autocorrects. Paychecks, Jamit.
No way.
Like as long as the bank takes it, I don't.
That's
that's it. It doesn't
They write
matter.
it? Do they
As
write
long
it
as
to
the bank
Janet?
takes it,
Are you
makes
serious?
small
Yeah.
changes.
Did she do it on purpose?
And nobody
Oh
ever
my
noticed.
God.
I'm like, hey, you can't
That's
put
funny.
Jamit. That's not my legal name. But that's it.
Let's take a step back. I know that Junior was talking about a picture that he posted, so we were trying to get questions.
Hey, tell us about
Lucha
your
Libre.
Spanish heritage.
Okay,
Tell us about
man.
that.
There's, dude, I'm Mexican.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
So I was born in Houston, Texas, and taken back to Mexico for a few months or for a few years, and brought back at 3 years old. When I was in my MMA career, there was and this is actually the first time that I tell this story.
Awesome.
So
breaking news.
yeah, Yeah, this is the first time that I tell this story. So I had a agent, you would say, and he was trying to build me up. And this was in, he was doing his job, right? And he said, "Listen, we have to do this. This is stories that you have to say, you know." And first of all, I do have 2 birth certificates. Really? I have a Mexican birth certificate and I have a U.S. birth certificate. Don't ask me how, but I have it. But I was born here in the U.S.
Okay.
So he said, okay, so when we do our tour in Mexico, you're going to have to say that you were born in Mexico. And I'm like, dude, but no. Like, how am I going to say? Like, no. He's like, you do have your birth certificate. I'm like, I do, but... like, I was born here. And he's like, no, this is a story you're going to have to say. This is what we're going to go by. So, I mean, I'm sure if you Google, it's everywhere, right?
Okay.
It's born in Mexico. But I was born here in Houston.
Born in Houston.
Yeah, I was born in Houston, Texas, taken back to Mexico, and then brought back at 3 years old. But my parents both, you know, from Mexico, from Veracruz and San Luis Potosí. And, I mean, they were born on the ranch, you know, like old school. And my father just... came, you know, wanted to live a better life, and my mom is the oldest of 15 kids. Wow. So it's a big family. So she had she's a tough. And my dad is, I think, one of the oldest of 9.
Big families.
Yeah, big family. Well, back in Mexico, you know,
that's what it is.
That's all they know: work and make babies. So he came to the U.S. and then brought my mom, and you know, my brothers and I were born here, taken there, and then brought back. And you know, ever since then, I grew up in Houston, Texas, and but I carry my roots very close to me. Like that's who I am. Like if I could say honestly, I would go back to Mexico, you know. But you know, this is my home, and I carry that because just the pride of my parents, you know, just to where they came from and what they did with their life. And,
sure,
you know,
well instilled values,
right.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful to be an American too, to have the freedom that I have and all the opportunities that you know they offer us here, because I don't think in Mexico I would have had the same opportunities. So, but anyways. Grew up. My mom didn't speak any English, so it was hard for me in school. You know, go home and talk Spanish, and
that's how I grew up.
Yeah, Spanish. Oh yeah.
When I went home, my parents spoke Spanish to me.
But did they know English?
Very limited English.
Okay.
My dad was an aircraft mechanic, so he did speak English, but you know, he's got a nice thick accent.
All right, but you had a little
Well, I grew up in a Spanish household.
Yeah. Yeah, well, for me, it was a little different. You know, it was hard. And then I lost my father when my mom became a widow when I was 6 years old. So that was a little tough, you know. Mm-hmm. And then it was hard for me growing up with her because for me, in school, English and my reading was that was the toughest part because I would go home and it's not like I could go, hey, Mom, help me with my homework. You know what I mean? Or it was really tough. But, you know, I love my heritage. I love my culture, the Mexican, my food. Who doesn't like Mexican food, right?
So you said something about I was asking you about the Lucha Libre mask.
Yeah.
But you said something, you started to say something about your manager or your agent?
Well, the agent was I was saying.
You have to be.
Yeah.
You're Mexican.
Oh, okay. That was
Mexican.
That was a have to be Mexican. But then after that, I mean, I've always carried my roots I'm Mexican, you know, and everybody, they know that. But so when I started MMA, my second professional fight, now we'll send a shout out. My second professional fight, I said, I want to be different. I want to walk out every camp is different. You're feeling different. It's just, you're in a different space.
Yeah.
Every camp is totally different. I don't know if you guys have experienced it in jiu-jitsu camps or whatever, you know, when you're competing, it's just a different. It's you know, whatever you're feeling. And I said, I want to come out with my own shirts, JAG shirts, you know. And I'll tell you about how JAG came apart and that story. But so I hit up my boy on, this is MySpace days.
Oh boy.
It was it's an artist. His name is Alex Ramon, and his nickname is Donkey Boy from Houston. He was an artist. He paints murals. And
I just followed his page. I'm not sure where I saw it. I just followed his page the other day.
So he used to paint murals, and I liked him on Facebook, and I'm like, dude, his art is so cool. It's just Mexican. It's just like, and so I hit him up and I said, hey, I want you to make a shirt for me. He's like, nah, I don't do shirts. I only do murals. And he's like, I said, listen, I'm going to send you some shirts, and I'm having my second professional fight, and I want you to do it for me.
Airbrush it?
Yeah. So he did it at hand.
Nice.
Paint.
Wow.
Yeah, I still have the shirt actually. And so then every fight I would have different shirts. I have a lot of different designs, and he would create them. He was the artist. And then I think this was in World Series of Fighting where I started coming out with my mask. And I've always wanted it. We never worked on it. And I said, hey, Donkey Boy, I said, I want you to put together my mask. So he did my own mask. So it's a JAG mask, and I should have brought something for you guys, but I'll give you guys.
You can check that. I think that's the same image.
That wasn't the mask. That was before. Yeah. Well, I had my mask, but that was me playing around at home, and somebody shot the picture. And
shout out to my friend Chris Maluco who figured that one out.
Oh yeah. So and then I had all my corner walk out. So we would walk out. When I would fight, we would walk out with my mask, the JAG mask, and then I would, after the fight, I would give it out to someone or something.
So tell us about the JAG name.
The JAG name? People, again, it was like I would sign my whole name, Jessica Aguilar, when they would, for interviews or autographs or whatever, and they were like, "So what's your nickname?" I'm like, "My nickname? I don't have it. It was just Jessica Aguilar." Yeah. Like boring.
You didn't get a jiu-jitsu name.
I'm just a fighter because I love it, but there's, I didn't do anything like background, as a kid or any story. But they were like, "So you don't have a nickname?" I'm like, "No." And then I was like, "All right, so I have to think of something." So it's just my first.
I got it.
Initial, and then the two of my last name, Aguilar, AG. Okay. And it just became JAG. And for me, because I went through a lot growing up, and I saw my mom struggle so much, but she made it. But she always had a smile on her face. Every time, I'm a person that, I just love to give positive vibes, So it's JAG, and then I put a smiley face at the end, and the eyes of the smiley face are positive signs. So it's just,
Okay.
And I would put smile and believe. And that smile and believe is just smile and believe that everything's going to be okay. Sure. Just keep, it's going to be okay. That was my, and so then years go by. That's my nickname, JAG. Years go by, and now that I'm transitioning, I was like, dude, I want to start a foundation. I want to help and kids or women, with the art that was given to me. I want to just give back. And they were like, JAG. So my friend and I, we were talking, and they were like, well, JAG, just a girl trying to make a difference. So now that's my foundation, JAG Foundation. So it's
awesome.
Just a girl, trying to make a difference. And what I do is also kind of like what you do is sponsor kids for jiu-jitsu, for any martial art that they want.
That's awesome.
And that's just kind of, that's how
it worked out.
So are you ready? Is it an idea, or there you go?
What is that?
That's my positiveness.
Oh, nice. I'm like, what is that?
Is that something you started already? Or are you already doing that? That's out there? Okay, very cool.
I haven't really,
You got to give me the information so that I can post it in
the
in the description of the podcast.
Cool.
Yeah. So let's jump to another listener question, and we'll go back a little bit to when we're talking about injuries. Did you ever have any family members? This is from Mr. Harlem. This is actually Jacob's dad.
Jacob the Bull.
Jacob the Bull.
Jacob the Bull.
Did you ever have any family members actually to quit MMA due to concern for you having a permanent injury?
Did they want?
You ever have family members trying to get you out of MMA? Like, don't do this, stop, or?
No, they never. Because I'm always going to do I was always going to do what
Nobody tried to ever convince you.
You're always going to do you.
Don't do it.
I was, I told my mom. My mom was, my mom, first of all, didn't know I was fighting MMA for the first 5 years of my career.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was that a tough secret to keep? Or?
It was, but then I lived here and she lived there. She doesn't know this world. Nobody, how would they know, She's not on social media, my brother isn't either. So it's like...
Okay, so it was a little easier.
Yeah, it was easier. People could talk, it's like, oh... But when I had for Bellator, I had to do this interview for Univision about my story. And then I'm like, oh, that's the shit. That's the only shit she watches. That's the only shit she watches, the news. And the first thing that comes out, I'm like, I can't say, hi, this is what's, So I told her, I had to tell her. And she was like,
mad?
She wasn't mad. She just, again, I live a totally different lifestyle than she lived growing up. Mexican woman, women are in the kitchen, are attorneys, or doctors, or they don't fight. They don't fight. This is guy stuff.
Yeah, but you hadn't told her for 5 years.
Yeah, but she's that's the kind of person she is.
She grew up.
Grew up. She doesn't understand anything. She's
All right.
She started working because my dad passed away. Other than that, she would have been a housewife.
Yeah.
So so I had to tell her, and she was like, "Ay, ¿cómo que?" And I said, Mom, don't, I'm good. I'm around good people. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing anything bad. I like what I'm doing. I'm traveling. It's okay. I'm okay.
So she was supportive.
I'm okay. She's like, she didn't like it, but
yeah.
I'm again, and then I'm a lesbian. So there's just my lifestyle with her. It's like I've broken every mold. I've broken everything.
What are you gonna tell me now?
I can't.
Why not?
I mean, I can't. I've done everything wrong in her book.
Aww.
I mean, you know what I mean? Just I haven't lived that Mexican woman.
She knows you to be controversial, so whatever you tell her, it's like,
okay. I just said, listen, I'm good. I pay my taxes. I'm around good people. I'm good. Don't worry about me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to get into the next question here. This is from Britt, who's actually one of our newest podcast patrons. So thank you, Britt. Thank you for supporting the show. So this says, this is directly to you. She says, hi, Jessica. Hi, Jessica and the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies crew. I'm a gay Latina. So first of all, I want to thank you for using your platform to support women and the LGBT community. I've been helping my professor with the kids' BJJ classes, and we don't have any girls in class yet. My question to you is, what would you suggest to do to increase the amount of girls in our kids' program? Thanks. Thank you, everyone. Britt.
Okay, Britt.
You kind of talked a little bit about that with your foundation just now.
Yeah, and that's because I've done a lot of I love giving back. I've said that a few times. I've worked with the community a lot, and I haven't recently, but I have to get back to doing so. I used to do a lot for the women in distress and just visit hospitals, the kids' hospitals and stuff like that. But I feel like to answer Britt's question is you got to invite the girls. Make them feel comfortable. Just invite the girls and let them know that they don't have to be strong. They don't have to be athletic. They don't have to know what they're doing. It's it's a valuable sport. It's a valuable sport, and just to make them feel comfortable, invite them. Make make it something fun, like women's self-defense group, or at Aviv we're doing there's Saturday women's
open mat?
Oh, not open mat. They're seminars, a different
defense classes. I think.
Yeah. So they one Saturday they do self defense. Today they did an improv. Where girls get together and it's just kind of a community.
Okay.
Just invite girls to come together. And
Janet, do you find that you're coaching? You're still coaching at Fight Sports, right? And you're involved with the kids' classes. Mm-hmm. How when a younger girl first comes in, is it do you see that keep me away from the boys, yucky boys, or are they rolling with the boys? I mean, any age, I would say we're starting kids there. What, 4 or 5? Okay.
I think the younger kids, they don't mind it as much
care.
Because they haven't really have the hormones and everything going on.
So what
they
age? What age is it? I don't want the boys touching me. 11, 12.
11, 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. 13, you start seeing their minds click for something else, and you're like, shit.
Yeah.
Now you gotta start. Some of them.
Okay. So do we keep them apart at Fight Sports?
Usually for the older kids, like the teenagers, we try to keep them separated.
Okay. So girls are going with girls, boys are going with girls once they're in the teens.
Just for a comfort level.
Right.
Okay.
Plus, just basic fact, boys are stronger than girls. So we don't want to put them with the guys at first to scare them off.
Yeah.
And if they don't know what they're doing, then they could get hurt.
Right.
Too,
so you try and put them with another, their species, same size type of a thing, just to make them feel comfortable. And we all know that when you first start, it is very awkward to begin with. You don't know the people, and now you're going to be laying on top of them.
Right.
So you want to try and make it as most comfortable as possible so that they will want to come back.
Yeah.
And then after they've been there for a while, then you can start putting them with the guys, or with the boys, if that's what they want. But it's the same thing with the adult class. Now that we've started this females class Tuesday and Thursday night, I think it's great.
I think it's great too. It's amazing.
You have some like us, Flo and I, purple belts, and then when you are able to go, or Vanessa, then we have a few white belts. We even have some of the teenage girls from the 630 class that come in. But we just try and higher belt with a lower belt if possible, especially when they're new, to make them feel comfortable. And once they've been in that female class, if they go, well, I want to come to a Monday, Wednesday night with the guys, they're more than welcome to. And even at that, if they want to stay with just the females who are there, and if they want to try with the guys, then we pick someone like Junior or Andreas that they're going to flow.
Right,
they're going to flow and not,
Because the situation's been the same. The situation's been the same for like yourself. When you started, there wasn't that many girls, right? And Jessica, you said you were probably one of the only few girls there at the time when you started ATT, right?
There was probably like 3 of us.
So how difficult was it for you training with male partners, especially at that competitive gym where you were?
Listen, for me, the male partners were the best. But not everybody is like it. Not every woman or not every girl out there is like me. I grew up with 2 brothers. Like
shout out to the big brothers.
Yeah, for sure. I was used to that. But not every girl is like me.
Come here, let me show you this dropping elbow. Right? It wasn't like that.
And so you have to understand both sides. Like if you want females to come and feel comfortable. Thank to all the guys that helped me train coming up. But if you want females to join the gym, like for Britt, that's asking, you got to make them feel comfortable. They have to learn the technique before they go with the guys, because if not, then it's like they're not going to want to come back because they don't know what they're doing.
Well, one of the interviews that I did recently with Gordon Ryan and Natasha was the fact that they're their primary training partners, and he probably has, I don't know, carrying 60 pounds on her. But it makes her game specific to dealing with, more tighter movements. And the same thing for the guy. Now he's dealing with a smaller female who he has to make adjustments
for.
So.
And I think it's all depending on what you're doing. If they're going for competition or they're just going for exercise. So competition and like being a professional is totally different game than
what are you here for?
And I'm not saying that we're not normal, but you know what I mean? Like
I completely
if somebody
understand.
just wants to come in and get a good workout and learn some self-defense moves, an average person, right, that wants to just come in after work and get their work in, they don't want to get hurt. They don't want to have to fight. We have to push through that because we're going to be in those situations.
In your interview with Gordon, he says hobbyist versus somebody who's looking to
an average person, hobbyist.
Yeah. So good point. Now it's okay for you, male or female, to say I don't want to roll with you. I don't want to. Would you like to roll? No, I'm okay. I'm gonna
for your
go
own
over
safety,
here.
Right?
Sure. We had a visitor. I was trying to figure out a way to throw this in. We had a visitor last week. I usually roll with a T-shirt, even if I like no gi. I have my T-shirt over my rash guard. Guy came in from out of town. He was a purple belt, probably half my age. I'm going to be 47, at least half my age. And we start rolling, and I say, I don't know him at all. He's just stepping on the mat. And I said to him, hey, we flow on the first roll here. And it's usually by partners. Me and Junior, I don't think we've ever flown or have had a flow roll. We always just get right into it. So I don't know this guy, so I wanted to feel him out.
Handle business.
This guy just goes after it. First, he
was like that. Remember that movie Ice Age? That squirrel that's running after that nut?
Yeah.
Man, old boy was it's like, yo.
Really?
We're going, and I'm just staying. I'm letting him go crazy, and I'm just really staying tight and just letting him do his thing. And I tell him halfway through, I said, "Stop!" I didn't tap. I said, "Stop!" I said, we backed away from each other. I said, "Do you know what flowing is?" And I wasn't trying to insult him. Do you know if he said, yeah. I said, okay, so that's not flowing. We're going to flow. I'm going to throw a move. You're going to throw a move. We're going to go back and forth. He says, okay, boom, slap, bump. Goes ham again. I roll over to my belly. I could see Sophia, and I'm just looking at her like, he takes my T-shirt.
I was rolling with
and
Jason
he tried to wrap it around my head.
But hey, to give the guy credit, to give the guy credit, right? Milton wears like a 3XL.
No, I don't.
Over top of his rash guard. So then it becomes like a wet towel on your face. Like you're being waterboarded.
I was never on top of this guy, first of all.
Over here. Abu Ghraib.
Let me make some corrections here. First of all, it's an XL.
Wait a minute.
Second of all, it turns into a 3XL when you get sweaty, you know?
Because I rolled with Milton that same day, and that thing just sat on my face.
I did that on purpose, though. I gave him a little wet belly. Little wet belly.
Abu Ghraib over here.
He grabbed the collar, and he tried to wrap it around my my shirt, the collar. He went like this, and he tried to pull it and wrap it around my neck. And I was like, stop. I said, what are you doing? Just stop.
He's just using stop. What he's got.
I was rolling with Jason.
Did he know?
And I stopped and I said,
he was
what are you
he
guys
was a purple
doing
belt.
over
He was
there?
purple belt. Yeah, look, cauliflower. He trained. He knew what he was doing. He knew how to roll. I don't know why he did that. I don't know if it got him upset. But I was letting him attack. Now let me say this last thing. So he grabs my T-shirt and does that. So then I said, what are you doing? I said, let go of my T-shirt. We stop. We back away again. He goes, here, come into my guard. So he comes into my guard. So I'm like, all right, now it's all bets are off. So he had worn gi pants. He didn't know had no gi on Saturday. I grab his gi pant to break the guard. And he's like, hey. You can't grab my gi pants.
What?
He goes, this is no gi. I'm like, mother, are you fucking kidding me? This guy, I really feel like something was wrong with him. I really don't think that he was all there. But he knew what he was doing. He knew how to roll. He rolled with Professor, and he put it on him a little bit, and then I made sure he rolled with Adolfo. I said Adolfo. You know,
that's funny.
You know, so craziness.
Wow.
Here's what I said.
Did you guys record it?
We could probably pull
he
a
has a
video
security
on
camera. He has a security
true.
camera. So
Well, here's what I said. Nope. No, thank you.
everybody else will. Everybody else get away from him.
No,
But
you
when
just watch and laugh.
It was funny.
Hobbyist 101 right here. Nope. It's not going to happen.
When I rolled with him, he rolled with Adolfo. That guy rolled with Adolfo, and then he had to take a break after he rolled with Adolfo. And he was right here, and then I'm rolling with him. And you made a comment about the guy trying to choke me with my T-shirt. I don't know if you realized he was right there. Were you saying it for his benefit?
I don't know.
He was right there, and he heard you, and he just smiled, and I laughed, and then I just didn't roll with him again.
That's
But
funny.
talk about like if
Wow.
I saw him again,
That's funny.
It's either I can elevate, and then we just go nuts on each other, or I just stay away from him.
Yeah.
So point being, I was looking for a place to talk about it was, you can listen, I don't want to go with you. For the most part, we are hobbyists. I've competed a little bit. Janet's competed a little bit. But, a guy like that, and again, we talk about the etiquette on traveling to gyms.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't go into anybody's gym
Do you
and do
100%
that. Yeah.
first time in a gym, or do you flow roll and
No, I flow roll.
That's-
a lot. I do flow roll more than
That's what
like I
we
try
say.
to okay, let me see what they're gonna do. Like, be careful. Well, now at my age, it's like, okay, my
You don't want to get hurt. You don't want to get hurt. And
That's what
I
I
don't think there's
say.
anything wrong with that. You have to be able to have that conversation with your partner. Hey, this is hurt. Don't grab this.
Right, but if there's
don't-
like we were talking about for Brent's question, the females like they don't know that. So coming into a new environment like jiu-jitsu,
yeah. Having that
you have
discussion
to-
with them,
right,
it's okay to say no if you don't want to
Yeah.
roll with anybody, male or female, same sex or not. You get to decide who you want to
Right.
roll with. Now I know, like Professor Philippe and
Sophia.
Adon. They will put us together with people, and they, Adon is a little bit more
but
like
they
he
kinda-
puts
they
you,
know.
he lets you, he wants, he knows when we know each other, but they'll put us together,
Right.
in some cases, In this case, I think I usually wind up with the new guy. I'm usually the biggest guy in the class, weight wise.
So they want you to slow.
So they got here, like I'm usually like left there, like okay, come here, new guy.
But that's good for you.
Well,
Right?
if you don't want to get choked by your
Right.
T-shirt, by your wet, sweaty
Funny.
T-shirt. I did do
That's
that to you on
funny.
purpose, though, when I got to you, though.
Sure
I
you did.
gave you a little
Abu
bit
Ghraib.
of...
Sure.
This is jiu-jitsu name, Abu Ghraib. I named him. Remember that date? What date was that?
All right.
funny.
Okay.
But listen,
Oh yeah,
here's
and
what I
another
think,
shout
too.
out
Go ahead.
to Britt. If she, I'm sure Sophia and all the girls that I train with are in for it too. If anyone out there at any gym needs any help bringing in some girls, there's a lot of resources, man. Use your resources, like
She's out in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, I'm from Texas. Like, if you need, like, we send a DM.
Yeah.
We'll set something up and we'll go out there.
Hey,
and,
Britt,
like,
there you go.
Well,
so-
even just things like, instead of doing a jiu-jitsu class, why don't you do a self-defense class? Just
Yeah.
like easy peasy self-defense.
Introduce it.
See how many people you
Now,
can
she was
get with.
specifically referencing, I believe, the kids class.
Well, but every
she
but
said
listen,
women's, yeah.
So with she's helping with the kids BJJ classes, and we don't have any girls yet. So she was referencing the kids class.
kids.
But what
so-
if you did? What if you did? Even if you want more adults, say, you can still do like a self defense. You can get women in there who possibly could have kids and go, "This would help my daughter."
Yeah.
Or you can even do things like make up a flyer and pass it out to some of the elementary or middle
Yeah.
schools.
So this is when I put my marketing
Yep.
hat on. You can use Facebook and target
Instagram. There's
people
so
who
many
have
free things
but,
now.
But like, if you wanted to do like a paid ad, even a small paid ad, and I know people that are very successful with their Facebook ads and getting, it's geared towards the parent, typically the mother who brings in the children, and then the mother winds up training with us. We have that situation,
Right.
over and over in our school. But you could target, a certain demographic in your area, women of this age who are mothers who have. You can go as far as trying to target somebody who has, girls, children that are girls. It's one way. Again, I'm putting on my marketing hat here, but that's one way to get your school in front of
Be
that
creative.
demo and say, hey, look, let's get
Or
some more
if
people
your
in.
city, does your city ever do
Right.
anything
Work
like
with the
Coral
community.
Springs
Get into the
does
schools.
stuff?
Get
you
into
have to
the
get into the
schools.
schools,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you got to think like how do they market basketball for kids or soccer for kids, and just think
Follow.
of it as like that. Like if your city, if they do, like Coral Springs does stuff.
Yeah, they have a
trying to
lot of
think, like,
community events.
They do
art
soccer
fairs.
and-
Yeah, listen. When
Yeah.
at the end of every soccer season, there's
Be
somebody with
there.
a flyer
Yeah.
for with the next sport.
Yeah.
They tried to get to our daughter into, I think it was flag football after her last season of Coral Springs before she started on the high school team, because now she's out kind of.
That's so cool.
They
Football in
overlap.
high school for
Yeah.
girls.
What's that?
There's football in high school for girls.
No, there was like intramural city flag football. So
Okay.
like after their soccer season, there was somebody giving out
I see.
flyers for.
Okay.
But now she plays on the high school team
Okay.
in soccer, which overlaps with the Coral Springs.
Okay.
So it's just like a nightmare to try to get to both. You just
Right,
never
right.
get to the practices. So. All right, so let's. Any other questions? We got some more stuff here. We have some more
I got a
stuff.
question.
Go
I
ahead.
just got a
Shoot.
random question.
Yeah,
So,
shoot. I won't be wearing my T-shirt next
How
time.
has your black belt changed your perception of jiu-jitsu?
Woo!
It's going deep.
That deep?
Going deep.
That's it. Reality check. You got a lot, man. I got a lot to learn. It just makes me like, I should just submerge myself into jiu-jitsu again.
You could. You learn something new every single
for
day.
Sure. But
forever.
for jiu, it's like it's like you got to learn. Like, not that but I feel like I have so much to learn, and I just want to keep learning as a black belt. Like, you would say, like, oh, a lot of black belts, like, oh, I'm a black belt, I know everything. No,
I think as a black
No,
belt,
you
you
don't.
forget more than you've ever learned.
exactly right.
it's
So
like, man, how did I forget to do that?
So for me, it's like I got my black. I'm like, man, I feel like I don't deserve my black belt. That's just me because I'm
Yeah.
my hardest critic. Like, I
love that you're saying
like,
that, because we've had
critical.
white belts that are going to blue belt that people we've trained with that have said that. Like, I don't want to go to blue belt. I don't think I'm ready, or I don't deserve it.
I don't think I'm ready
But
for my
it's-
purple.
We've explained it as, and you can give me your opinion there. But this is the beginning. You're learning. You've graduated from brown, and now you have to learn what you need to learn at black.
Right.
It's not you didn't get the black belt because you know everything you need to know at black belt. This is the beginning of the black belt journey.
right, and that's what my instructor, my Ricardo, told me. He's like, you've done a lot. And I feel like you deserve it. And I'm like, no, I wanted to win like a Worlds or something to get a black belt. But he's like, you got to understand too, like, your career was different. Like, I wasn't just doing jiu-jitsu.
Because it did take you how long to get your
A
black belt?
lot.
13 years? 14 years?
13 years, yeah. And that was, it wasn't like I was putting on my gi every day. It was when I had some extra free time. I wish I would have done that, and been more active.
Do you have a set or a go-to move? Something that you feel like you've perfected?
Mm-hmm.
The JAG. What's that JAG? What's that JAG move?
Janet. Whoa. What was that?
Did she catch you with it?
What was that? The elbow to the face? Nah.
No. I love when Janet turns red.
Wow. She said, wow, Janet.
I like his
It's
signature move, though.
The arm triangle.
Okay.
I would have to say the katagatame.
That's your
It sucks.
I love
the
that.
head and arm.
The head and arm.
Okay.
It sucks.
So
I've tended to, and I was doing this today. I was at the gym. I didn't go train today. I went to LA Fitness, and I was watching the electric chair videos for the electric chair because it's a.
I have no idea what the electric chair is.
Have you ever
Is that a
rolled with
move?
Felipe? Have you ever rolled with Felipe?
I've had a
the
lot
lockdown.
of
You know the
electric
lockdown?
shocks with Felipe, but not the electric.
It's the lockdown. It's Eddie Bravo's name for the lockdown.
Okay.
Where you lock the leg,
Leg
you lock that
crank.
leg, and then you kind of
When
you grab
you're-
under.
You shoot for a deep
The
half.
outside leg.
You shoot for a
Yeah.
deep half.
Felipe
while you
likes
have
to
the
call
legs
it
locked.
cranking the pee-pee.
He calls it the PP splitter.
Okay.
Also, the wrestlers call it the banana split.
Okay.
Eddie Bravo calls it the electric chair. Our professor calls it the PP splitter.
Okay.
I like that.
Because
one.
you wind
The
up.
banana split
you know,
was
yeah.
it's familiar. Yes.
So I've my first move ever, it was by accident, was north south. I would always wind up in north south. I won my first tournament at white belt, laying on the guy's face, not against him.
Abu Ghraib. You see, even as a
Going
white
for
belt,
the
he was
choke,
doing
just
that.
laying on the guy's face, and I was like, "What am I? I don't know what to do from here." And then I made myself go. I'm like, "That was a really strong position for me. Let me go look at it." And then I just started watching, videos. Who is it? Mauricio. I forget his name.
Marcelo Garcia.
Marcelo Garcia.
Oh my
Marcelo Garcia.
God.
That's his move. That's his
Yeah,
the north
so
south and that
yeah,
choke.
He's amazing.
So I killed.
Legend.
I learned it. Everybody used to get annoyed. What is that? Your only move? And then I got introduced to the lockdown, and then I was just like, okay, this is so. Like now, I always just work myself into that move, and now I'm like.
That's your-
learning the next, and now I'm working on a different sweep than what Felipe does, but like Eddie Bravo does a sweep where
Starting
he's holding
from
the
there.
leg, he grabs the head, and he's got their knee next to their face right there. So trying to learn that. Point being is that I find something that I like, and then I have to perfect
Right.
it. I can't be okay at that move, like I want to perfect it.
Right, and
So-
there's always something to perfect. That's
There's so
the
much to
jiu-jitsu.
learn.
Junior's
What about
the
your-
deep half
What
guard
about
guy.
your to go to?
I don't have one yet.
You better jam it. Sophia.
Yeah.
I don't have one.
Really?
What?
You don't have What do you don't have one?
What's your
even
favorite
a takedown?
move? Let's
even
say
a
your
sweep?
favorite.
Girl, my takedown.
Even
I don't even want to talk about
You
it.
do. You.
What?
I don't know. I don't
There's a
know.
single leg? What
Don't
is
sell
it?
yourself short,
Yeah,
Janet. You
come on.
are.
Think about it. Think about a sweep. Think about it. So,
What's your
I don't
favorite?
know.
What your
I'm
favorite
asking
move?
you.
What's your favorite move, or the move that you often find yourself getting? Like, oh, I caught him on that one.
Anything
What's that?
that's choke.
okay.
Gi chokes?
You like gi chokes?
Sure.
What's your?
Yes. Or bow and arrow.
There you go.
That's her
There
move.
you go.
There you
Well,
go.
there you
That's
go.
your bow and arrow.
Okay, there we go.
There you go.
Hey,
you got to move.
don't sell yourself short. You,
Junior is
yeah,
a
what about you, Junior?
deep half guy. He's always in deep half.
No, I like to just my shoulders, man, keep me from doing so much. My shoulders.
He's
are so
lying.
jammed
Deep
up.
half
What, but
and
deep
a
half?
knee on
Shoulders?
neck.
My shoulders are so
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
that from jiu-jitsu or is that from
Yeah, it's
more...
mostly jiu-jitsu. Because I do a lot of half guard, so I shoot a lot behind the back. So I would extend my arm a lot. So just doing that, I could feel it. It's
Oh, wow.
uncomfortable, both sides. So,
Yeah.
But
But never surgery?
not yet.
Okay.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah,
Waiting
yeah.
on you, the VA.
Oh, man. Oh, sorry.
VA.
VA.
Touchy
All right, so
subject.
we've got some more questions. We're just going to take a quick little break here and do some housekeeping. So some of these things we spoke about. I'm going to go through this stuff real quick. So again, patreon.com/Jiu-Jitsu Dummies. You could support the show with as little as $5 a month. And you are entered to win at least $100 in Jiu-Jitsu swag every single month. We give away, we've got these gis to give away still. We'll be announcing February's winner this week online. So our current, we'll go to our current Patreon or our podcast patrons. So we mentioned Britt Tover. She's a white belt out of Sinister BJJ in Austin, Texas. Now, I'm going to take a little kind of go on a tangent here. I love
don't
surrounding myself with positive people. You mentioned this. Like, I reached out to Britt. She is, I don't know if she's sponsored by Fight Back, but saw her through, like, always with her Fight Back shirt on. She was raising money for Tap Out Cancer.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, this girl's really cool. This is, that's what I like to see. She put out videos. She was raising money. She did something where a coach, where I think, like, if she raised a certain amount of money, he had to dye his hair. Like, she put out some really cool videos. So, just the other day I said...
And she's a white belt.
She's a white belt.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like she's you could see her love of jiu-jitsu. And she posted something, and she was so positive about it. I sent her a $50 gift code. I said, hey, let me send. She was they were going to Submissions by the Shore, and she didn't have. She's like, oh, what should I wear? And it was just she was just being cute about it online. Said it's not going to get to you in time, but for the next one, here's a gift card. Go get yourself something.
Oh, that's cute.
Then she became a podcast patron, but again, a connection through Fight Back, always reposting her stuff. She's been really cool, and now she's involved with the show. So big shout out to Britt. Let us know next time you're raising money for Tap Out Cancer. Now that brings us to Gemma.
Little Gemma, what's up, Gemma?
Gemma is one of our youngest listeners. She's 9 years old. I talked to her dad online. It's really cool.
Where's she from?
I don't know offhand. I'm sorry.
Gemma?
Gemma.
Well, sounds like you almost Jamit.
Yeah, right.
Gemma?
Almost like Jamit.
Hi, Gemma.
So,
keep training.
Hello, Gemma. She competes a lot, so always on the podium. Love to see her there. So she's actually raising money for Tap Out Cancer. This is all like coincidental. Just happens to be somebody else that's involved with the show. She's raising money for Tap Out Cancer. We're going to post the link to her Tap Out Cancer. It's not just like a tapoutcancer.com. So it's a little bit of a long link. So I'm going to post it. Please check it out. Click on the link. Let's support Gemma. She's raising money because her mom's been battling colon cancer for about 2 years. Again, link in description. Let's support her. Anything else we could do when by the time she sees this, she'll see that the show's donated as well. Okay. So, James Fisher, another one of our podcast patrons. We mentioned he won the Diane Portwood print that we had hanging here in the studio. CJ Carroll, who always wants us to shout out Mission 22. Mission 22, you want to explain?
Mission 22, also a veteran organization, helps vets transition, not necessarily have to be combat veterans. We Defy handles more of that, but any veteran that needs some help.
And they're helping battle veteran suicide, right? That's what they're trying to do. Chuck Red Door out in Hawaii, our meme guy. He's always posting memes. Shout out to Chuck. Damian Soto, Roberto Santiago, who are two of our newest podcast patrons. We appreciate you all. You are all going to they've either won something or going to be winning something soon. We send them little care packages and keep them involved.
Hey, James Fisher, what's his Instagram handle?
James Fisher, I don't have it here.
On Fire Fisher?
Yeah, that's in On Fire Fisher, yeah.
Because you know what happened,
just got his black belt.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
That's
got his black belt.
I know he teaches his kids' classes. He's 100% jiu-jitsu. He's so immersed in this world. He introduced us to Fight Back CBD. He's introduced us to some other companies, too, that hopefully might be working with the show at some point in the future. So
you got a lot of people from Austin, Texas, right?
We got followers everywhere.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
Fight Back is is out of Texas, and I guess we have a little bit of a presence out there. I brought this up before, and this seemed like it might be a little touchy. Do we want to talk about Substars? I mean, we're not throwing shade. We just want to let everybody know we had Alex and Drew from Substars on the show. The event, I think, was incredible. They did a sumo event. Did you see?
Celebrity
I saw
sumo.
some pictures on Instagram, but I didn't watch.
So the only reason I'm bringing it up is since they were on the show, people are asking us, "Hey, what the heck happened?" You can go onto Substars, their Facebook page or their Instagram sub.stars on Instagram. Alex, the owner and CEO, has put out a couple of videos. I don't know what happened. Apparently, they weren't able to pay the fighters. I don't know if they paid any of the fighters. We had a hand in getting Jacob the Bull Brown. I call him the Brown Bull. Jacob the Bull Brown on the show. His father had reached out. We had him on the show here, and then helped get him on. We mentioned him to Alex when he was here, and they put him on the card, and he was the opening match, which I think was like the best fight of the night. And he called me afterwards and said, "Hey, do you know what's going on down there? They told us not to cash this check." And come to find out,
I think they
minutes later,
overcommitted. Pay-per-view was 99 cents, or was it $9.99 to order?
Okay,
and they needed to raise a lot of money. You know, I think the intent was good. And I just it didn't go the way he wanted.
I'm not going to defend him because I met him the one time that he was here. But I really feel like his heart's in the right place.
Yeah,
he wants to further jiu-jitsu.
Well. Yeah.
Maybe the event just cost more and they didn't get as much back. I know I was keeping an eye on the ticket sales. You know, I bought a table, so we spent. We supported, and I did see that the ticket sales were slow. But when I got there, that place looked packed. Like the whole downstairs looked pretty packed. So other than maybe some tables that didn't get sold. So as far as what we know about it. It sucks. Fighters didn't get paid. They're making a commitment to try to get all the fighters paid. He's talking about having some investors that he's talking to. So we'll leave it at that. He's putting out information on social media. So I guess point everybody to them for the answers.
Yeah, hopefully that gets fixed, and then we can continue with some more good jiu-jitsu competitions. We had a great. There was a great lineup.
Seem to have some good cards.
There was a lot of good fights on there.
Yeah, Jits Kings is going to be Let's fast forward. Jacob is going to be the main event on their kids card, on their kids event in Miami on April 19th. So they're going to be at that Manuel Artem Theater in Miami again. So hopefully we're going to go, trying to talk to them about either coming on the show, maybe getting some of the fighters and their coaches on the show, and maybe, depending on if we can do it, is actually doing a podcast at either the weigh-ins or the event. Just doing a podcast out there and maybe having some of the, some of the competitors come on with their coaches.
That'll be cool.
And talk to us a little bit. Maybe we can do it there. So up in the air. Let's see what we can put together. But they're definitely open for us to do something. And that kind of came from your interviews at the weigh-ins at the pre-Substars event.
That was a good time.
That was incredible. He interviewed Gordon Ryan,
That's cool.
Gary Tonin, Natalia, also known as Hey Sunny.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Luisa Montero. How do you say her last name?
Monteiro. Who else is out there?
And Nikki Rod.
So the people that were there, we had a great opportunity to interview, and we're still looking to make interviews with interview connections with as many folks, and we have a lot of people down here in South Florida.
Sure. You have a lot down here. It's like the Mecca.
That was his first solo interview project.
Very
we put it out. It's an hour-long video on YouTube, but we've been breaking it up and putting it onto Instagram.
Monteiro.
Very cool.
Mispronounced her name, Luisa Monteiro. If I mispronounced it, I'm sure that I did.
So awesome! It's actually taken off as far as views. Awesome. So hats off. Thank you for doing that. It came out great. Awesome. And then also we have our interview up with Jacob the Bull Brown at the. We did a little interview with him. We put it out in 2 parts. It's about 6 minutes total. So you can check all that out on YouTube. You asked us about the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies Foundation. You can check us out on Instagram at the JJD Foundation, on Twitter at the JJ Dummies FDN, and the GoFundMe is in the description on all of our videos. And the focus for the foundation, we've talked about this a little bit, is giving scholarships to veterans, first responders, and children in need. Okay. Very cool. Another shout out again to Fightback CBD. Log on to fightbackcbd.com. Use code JJD for 15% off. You can always go to our podcast store and get 10% off and free shipping on orders over $50 with code DummiesPod15. Okay, we're actually. Did you guys see the pictures I sent? I sent one picture of a ranked rash guard that we're going to do.
Man, send me a picture of a $20 bill, man. Stop it. Come on. Check that cash, man. Get out of here.
We did a really cool. I had somebody design a very, very cool rash guard, and it'll be ranked, so it'll be
nice.
white to black.
You got to take a look at that.
Oh, that's cool.
Let's talk about this one. Kimono grip. Did you get to use it this week?
Nothing, man.
You and I have to get together by the.
Those are cool.
Really sick.
By the time, have you seen these yet? Have you ever used one of these? I've been using. I used this at the gym today. By the time this comes out, we'll have a little review video on Instagram. Maybe you and I can get together and go to the gym together and film something.
Yeah, man. Once I get my followers up, man, I'm going to pump out some video.
So I used it today. It's really awesome. I've used others. I like this one because of this. I can do this on the side. Some of the other ones are a little bit smaller. I like this because I can actually put this on the pulley machine to do triceps and grab it from here, as opposed to maybe being able to do a motorcycle grip down here.
Right.
I like that this has enough for me to grab here. I could do pull downs, and then I could do biceps as well. And then you can also do lats, lat pulls. So I like this one a lot more than I have another set. I won't mention the company name, but I do really like this. But I like to get together and it's smaller. It's just kind of maybe like to here. I like this again. When I used it today, I said, wait a minute, because this feels like, if I was grabbing somebody's the back of the gi, as opposed to getting a little bit more of the grip on just the on the sleeve. So I really like that part. People use it with like kettlebells and there's tons of different exercises you can do. So shout out to Kimono Grip. Thank you very much. By the time you see this episode, we'll probably have a couple of little videos on Instagram.
Network. Yeah. I got a question for you, Jessica. Having now that you're a black belt under Liborio, what have you learned as far as jiu-jitsu wise that he's taught you of importance that you carry with you as you represent, I guess?
Giving without expecting anything in return.
Is that the way he always was?
He just gives, and he's always been there for all of his students. And, he says just give without expecting anything in return. And I know that's it. A lot of people won't understand just because you're asking me what have I learned as jiu-jitsu, and it necessarily, obviously, I've learned a lot of techniques and, little details and a lot from him. But one thing that sticks to me is just give without expecting anything in return. He's just like a person that gives, whether it's jiu-jitsu advice, whether it's whatever.
Which you can apply both on the mat and off the mat,
right? Absolutely, yeah. So he's an awesome person.
So
on the mat and out of the mat.
Let's give you a chance. Do you have anybody you want to shout out? Any sponsors? Anything that you have going on?
Tommy Copper. There's so much. I also, me and one of my friends, she's a world champion boxer. We also have a podcast. It's called The Canvas. So shout out to them, Brian and Matt and all the group there.
Who's your podcasting partner?
Maureen Shea. You can follow us at The Canvas podcast on IG and SoundCloud and iTunes and all that. I'm not too good with that.
Wherever you can find podcasts.
Yeah, wherever you can find it. Did I say Tommy Copper?
Yes.
Thank my teams, the people that have helped me, Fight Sports, Coral Springs, Aviv, Barwis. Just the people that support me and all of you guys, the fans, and thank you for having me, guys. Here,
thank you for being a part of this.
And anything I can help, you guys can follow me on Instagram at JAG ATT. I have to, change that name, but it's hard to change. Yeah, it hasn't. I can't change it for some reason. I don't know.
Okay, do you have the blue check mark?
Yeah,
you have a blue check,
but I don't know how to.
I
don't know how to change that, but yeah. So
okay, all right, very cool.
I'll keep you guys posted. I'm not really good at social media, but if I have anything coming up, for sure I'll keep.
Let us know and come back. And so we're gonna end with our speed round.
Wait, we have to reconsider speed round because we've answered all the questions.
She has. No, not all of them.
Well, there's one.
You stepped on number 4. You stepped on number 4. I added what's your surprise belt promotion, but I didn't tell you. I added it to the speed round. So you already asked her about the surprise belt promotion.
Thanks.
But I don't really think that we asked number 1. So let's start with number 1. If you could go back in time, what would you tell the white belt you the minute before you were going to train for the very first time? Not a competition. Just I'm going to train. What would you tell yourself? Advice. Watch out for this.
Watch out for those sneaky bow and arrows.
My white belt me. Relax more.
Common theme.
Just relax.
Common answer.
You don't use so much strength. Just relax more.
Okay. All right. Good. Junior, you want to take number 2?
This is the one that I think she already answered, right? Outside of achieving the rank of black belt, what is your ultimate goal in jiu-jitsu, MMA, martial arts, or as a whole? And you said you had a chance to start your foundation.
I had a chance to start my foundation, but I know it sounds cheesy, but that's just who I am. Just leave this world a better place, whether it's, sharing my story and inspiring kids, women, people to follow their dreams or to believe in themselves and just to be a better person, with jiu-jitsu or with my story. I'd like to do that. I'd like to change the world, make it a little better place.
For sure. Very cool. That's a great answer.
Yeah, with jiu-jitsu and my story.
All right, I know you. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, because when I started, it was something that I never thought I never thought wanted to be a professional fighter, and became a world champion and just met great people, traveled the world, just had many opportunities.
Sometimes you don't know what calls you.
Right? You just had so many opportunities, and you have this platform to share your story, and sometimes it's scary. It's a scary, to share your story, but sharing your story can inspire and change other people's lives.
Did you ever get into acting? Did you came?
I did.
To
I did
Florida?
a few. I did. I was on Dexter. I was on the third season of Dexter. I did some telenovelas. I did some.
I didn't see you. I've watched it twice.
Well,
I didn't see you.
You better watch it again, girl. I was a forensic on Dexter on season 3.
What?
And then I
some
did
novelas. You did some novelas.
I did some
too?
novelas, and then I
Okay.
did an Italian film. And yeah,
Did
so
your
I
mom?
did a couple.
Did your mom catch you on a Univision novela? Or?
She doesn't. Just the
Just
news.
the news.
Just the news. But and now, I want to go back into stunt work, so I'm working on that.
Okay.
But there's just a few things that I want to work on now. Transitioning into, probably do fire.
Okay.
Yeah. So just
Firefighter.
yeah, firefighter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like their schedule and
Pushing the limits.
and I could still it's still
get a lot
like the
done.
and
Yeah. That's
then
pretty
I
cool.
help people, so it just all ties in. And maybe I don't know, teach them some jujitsu.
So okay, we're gonna go to question 3. I'm gonna leave. I don't see you don't have your list open, so I'm gonna have to
I
ask
got
this
it.
next one. You want to ask
She's
question
got it.
number 3?
Stop being greedy,
Because
Mel.
we're
What,
going
Jan-
to leave question number 5, Junior's favorite question. But
You can
go
ask that,
ahead.
Janet.
Question
Well,
number
what?
3.
Janet, you're on
Well,
my
give it
team,
to-
right?
I am on your
Okay.
team. I'm team over here.
Yeah,
Okay, so what is the craziest jiu-jitsu or MMA related thing that has ever happened to you on the mat?
On the mat or in the cage?
Yeah.
And
Craziest
this probably
thing.
ties into this weekend. Actually, what's today? Saturday? Yes, today. It's Wheelie Zhang. She fucking submitted me armbar. That was like last year, the champion for the strawweight division. That was like when I felt her like her power. Like usually, like I hadn't. People ask me, "Have you ever felt someone's?" And I'm like, I felt it, but it's never like, oh, like it's rocked me or like.
Yeah.
When I felt her, I was like, oh.
When you
she
say
outside-
felt her, you're saying
like when I
feel
felt
punches.
her power and
wow.
When she grabbed you,
when she
just like
when
you
she
could
took
tell
me down
somebody.
and she landed on side control, there was no space. I was like, this. I mean, I was
Ruh-roh.
a fan. That's why I asked for the fight because I love fighting like Asian fighters because that's all they do. That's like they're real martial artists, like legit. It's not like just because I want to be cool and I want to be in the sport and like no, it's like. You wake up, you train, you eat, you train, you sleep. It's
yeah.
so that's she just like it was like what happened. She busted me. She submitted me like.
What fight?
made me, like-
What organization was that fight?
That was UFC.
Was that your last fight?
Oh no, that wasn't my last. That wasn't my last fight. My last fight I took like 7 days and. Let's not talk
Okay.
about that. I mean, I love it. But just the choices that I made wasn't good. No, I fought her November of 2018. I think 2018, I think so. A year ago.
Okay.
So that was the craziest.
Go back and watch
She
that.
like,
Go wa-
yeah,
watch that fight.
She just like it was super quick.
All right. So now we're going to end on what I call the most important question
Give
that
it to
you're
me.
probably ever going to answer
Wow.
in your MMA
Stop.
or jiu-jitsu career.
What's my favorite food?
Okay. Boxers
your
are briefs.
Right, what's my favorite?
Now, this is one of the most important questions. There are a lot of people listening, a lot of younger jiu-jitsu practitioners,
Stop.
MMA fans. I mean, people are going
All
to
over the
follow
world.
your lead when you answer this question. But go ahead, Junior.
What? Come on. What?
It's a good question.
I'm sure.
Throughout your jiu-jitsu career, which we know spans a decade.
More, 13,
Damn.
13
I'm
years.
gonna hype
more.
this up. Spans over a decade.
Okay, hype it
A
up.
decade and more,
All right.
right?
Hype
Being
it up.
on the mat, right, in a gi for so many years, have you found it necessary to wash your belt?
To wash my belt?
To wash your belt?
Do you wash your gi belt?
Never.
Never.
That's right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
Wait,
that's
whoa,
it.
whoa,
That's
let's
all we
talk
have.
about
That's all we have for you today.
See,
Wow,
Vincent's going in a
I
hole.
never wash my
Bo,
belt.
really?
We're not going off
'Cause
yet, Bo.
that's
Hold on
like-
a second.
Why?
I mean, my gi every time, like I walk in and it goes straight in the wash.
Okay.
But my belt, no. That's like
Why?
just it's that it gets to like wear that sweat and that I don't know. I've never washed my belts.
Any color. Any color.
Any color. My black belt is still like super new. It has to break in, but that's just what makes it like.
It gives it character, right?
Yeah, it gives it that character. Like, yeah, do you wash your belt? Mm-hmm. Yes.
He's a belt washer.
Okay. Why?
Because it gets dirty.
But you like it. You want it dirty. That's your like.
No, I don't want to get sick.
That's your
I don't want to
umph.
get sick.
That's your
I don't
umph.
want to.
That's you know what? That's why. Well, I'm not going to wish anything upon you. That's why we're not going to
the guy
get.
choked me with my shirt.
That's why we're not going to get the coronavirus.
What?
Because we're
You
immune.
built up,
I'm about to get the coronavirus tonight. Give me some cold Coronas.
Oh, there you go.
Just playing.
Fight UFC
I'm
fight.
playing.
So just so that you know, so I want to tell you because you looked at me funny when you're like, you really?
No, I didn't.
No,
It's
I know.
my
I'm just-
facial expression.
No,
I know.
it's okay. I don't take offense to it. You can get out now. No, I'm just kidding. No. So I had a heart attack a few years ago.
Okay.
So I'm on a lot of heart meds. And when I do get sick, I'm not supposed to take like certain medications, and you can't take decongestants, things that mess with your blood pressure. So I am extra careful about washing my hands, and because when I do get sick, it's going to be
It's
a little bit
worse.
worse than normal because I can't take certain medications. And
Can you take your crybaby meds?
But now I
I
understand.
have to call
it's
a ambulance every time. No,
It's understandable.
So I watched it before that, but I'm extra.
Oh,
like,
so you
on
watched
top
it
of it.
before
I
that.
did
Now
watch
you
it
just
before
have
that.
something to-
But now I have that excuse. So that's a
Okay.
good excuse,
Yeah,
though.
it
Of the
is.
excuses
It
that
is.
you've heard,
I
that's
forget
what
a
I
lot
was-
of things too. Is my excuse is like, hey, I got hit in the head for a living. So
I washed my belt because I got hit in the head.
no, I said it because I forget a lot of things. But
Oh,
Even though you don't wash your belt, thank you so much for coming out.
Oh,
We
man, thank
appreciate
you.
you being here. I'm not going to hold it against you. We would love to have you back one day
Absolutely.
as your foundation moves forward, or you move on to the next phase of your life. You said you were going to be.
there's a few things
going on.
that I'd like to do.
Come back and talk to us. I'm sure we're going to
projects
see
that
you
I
in the
have.
gym on the weekends. But yeah, super happy to have you, and thank you so
Awesome,
much.
man.
It's
Thank you
a
guys.
pleasure.
Thank you
It was a
guys
pleasure
for the
having you.
recommendations and whatever I can do to help.
Thank you.
Just let me know.
Put the word out
Yeah,
there.
for
Tell
sure.
everybody about it. Tell you on your show. We will. This will come out. We usually not this Monday. The following. We take 1 week,
Okay.
and then we put it out the following Monday. And just tell the world.
As
that's
you
on the show.
know, like you gotta keep sending me things.
Send you a link to it.
Just
I
keep
would
sending
say
me.
you probably see
times.
Janet
If
more
I
than
tell
anybody.
you yes, it's gonna be yes. But
I would say I'll have Janet help you, but Janet has 2 posts on her Jiu-Jitsu Dummies
Horrible.
Instagram.
I can't.
I'm gonna put her on blast for a second because last night I was like, I wonder if she's posted anything.
No.
I looked still 2 posts, and I'm like, well, let me look at her regular, her old one. The last post she posted was like something for the show when we started. That's the last time she's
and it's
posted
the
on
same
Instagram.
thing on Facebook.
So I'm
Yeah,
not kidding
me
even getting
too.
that at her.
I'm horrible.
I'm a creeper.
I
but
handle the
don't
social
post.
media for the show.
Okay.
And then also for the t-shirt company. It used to be called Choke Responsibly. And then it's now transitioned to the podcast store. But I have like 15 different pages that I have to maintain.
Yeah.
And then now the foundation. And so that's all I do. And then as in my day job is I sell that service to other companies. That's what I do during the day. Marketing,
Right.
helping them online digital presence and stuff.
Oh,
so I
that's really
live
cool,
that.
then.
That's all I do.
That's all you
We're
do.
regular
yeah.
people.
It's one of the reasons I think that we
We're
were
just
successful. Got it in
Jiu-Jitsu
front of the
dummies.
right people and do the right things behind the scenes to
Right.
get it going. So,
That's
so
really
we've,
cool.
we've
So
found
then
a lot of
I'm
success.
gonna after the show, I'll pick your brain a little bit.
Absolutely, I'd love to do it.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for guys for tuning in.
Awesome.
We'll be
Thank you
back
for
in a
all the
couple of weeks
questions.
with episode 16. Thank you to all of the listener questions. We appreciate you guys. We're out. Us.
Double dose
Thank
of
you,
big
guys.
crybaby meds.
Adios, amigos.
Double
You and me.
dose that, baby.
I see you on the mat. I'm gonna come with a wet T-shirt from now on.
Triple
I'm gonna
XL,
wet
man,
my
a
T-shirt.
dress.
First of all, I'm gonna wet
If
my
you come
T-shirt
wearing a
and come
dress,
with
bro,
my
it's-
T-shirt.
I'm not even. I'm gonna. No.
Janet, I
Here,
won't wear
no.
a t-shirt.
Me neither.